Borat, subsequent movie film, or Borat 2, are one of the many titles displayed during the film. See Sacha Baron Cohen return as Borat to try to redeem Kazakhstan's honor. 14 years after the breakout success of Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for the benefit of glorious nation of Kazakhstan, Sacha Baron Cohen has decided to return to the character in trying pandemic-style times, and that's pretty much kind of the underlining current for the film, is that's why he's remaking it. He's trying to go through America, and the pandemic and everything kind of plays on it, but really basically the story as it opens with Borat. He's basically became a pariah in his home country. He's thrown into gulag for all of the embarrassment that he caused Kazakhstan for releasing this film. Now it embarrassed them, and the Kazakh premier gives him a job to go deliver this little pornographic monkey, or pornographic starring monkey, to Donald Trump, is to try to, make Kazakhstan look better based upon what had happened in the past. And that's really what happens. Borat gets sent off to America and goes through his little shtick. His daughter ends up coming in, so basically the story is him trying to give his daughter to Trump, Mike Pence, or eventually Rudy Giuliani. And that's really what happens. Basically, it kind of just rehashes what had happened in the first Borat movie, but in this one you can see, or at least to me it appeared to be a lot more heavily produced, with a lot more intricate camera work instead of the first one, where a lot of it you could tell were obviously hidden cameras, or not very high production cameras, because they were really trying to make it not look like a film. In this one, there are some instances where it does appear that they shot some things out in the world and then came back in and maybe did some pickup shots, created like a little set to kind of mirror it, because you can tell the quality in the cameras being used has a pretty significant jump. And it does appear that you have multiple actors in parts playing roles rather than just normal people as in the first one, and Borat is basically just shitting on them and getting them to say or act stupid in their naivete, which is pretty much what happens throughout this film again. As in the first one, you find some naive Americans, make some jokes at them in their inability or their kindness, and not like calling him an idiot and be like, why are you doing this? They just kind of let him say some things, so he plays that up a lot. And in this one, it seems to be more mean-spirited in kind of what he does, specifically with the pandemic being involved, how he goes around, talks about it, tries to get people to say, they don't believe in science, where he dresses up like a country singer. This was one of those things that was reported earlier in the year when he got busted trying to do this, and it was one of those things you kind of expect. And you can see it kind of looks like in this section that they did some pickup shots with it and didn't actually use all they filmed out there. The same thing with him dressing up like Donald Trump and go into CPAC and trying to give this chick to Mike Pence while he's there giving a speech. That was thrown all over the news. Of course, you didn't know it was necessarily Sacha Baron Cohen there. They did a good job of hiding that. But in the movie, you can see they kind of did it in a way that plays it up rather than kind of giving it away. So you can see that the movie, they took a lot more time editing it, trying to disguise himself. They even make a point opening the film that he is highly famous or highly recognizable, now famous in America, so he has to get disguises, and they play a little tongue-in-cheek about the Borat costume being one of the popular costumes that he can get. And as part of this, it does make this movie obviously hard, because he had such a success with the first one that now he has to try to do this character again. And I think that's part of where the movie doesn't do as well, is because he's going to these extra lengths and it's not really giving you the same originality or authenticity of the original film, in that he basically just did the kind of a candid camera, hidden camera setup and got people to make asses of themselves. In this one, he's obviously trying to get people to make asses of themselves. They're a little more hesitant, but they're still naive and kind of forgiving, and then you can see where he fills it in, or he sets up the jokes before he goes in. So the audience knows what's going on, but the person that falls into the joke doesn't know, and it's very much played up for the jokes leading into this point, but it's not very good in my opinion. Like I said, it does have its moments. It's not as good as the first one. If you like the first one, you might like this one. You'll find a couple good moments in it, but I don't think you'll find it as culturally relevant. There's not going to be these silly catchphrases going around after the first one with this one, nor is there going to be any kind of like the bikini that he had in the first one. He has a maskini in this one, and it's just a joke. It's like not really funny. Honestly, I don't think I would recommend this film, unless you like the original Borat movie. If you didn't like the original Borat movie, you're really not going to like this one. If you had any nitpicks or any complaints with the original Borat movie, you're probably going to have those same complaints with this one, and maybe even on a higher level. As you can tell, he goes really political, even though the first one was political, but it was more or less just playing on people's naivete. But this one is very political in its inception all the way through, carrying out through the completion of the film, and I just didn't like it that much. It's over on Amazon Prime. Give it a watch if you feel like it. I do think some of the reviews are a little bit too high for this movie. I think he really just lost his edge, and more or less, he's playing Borat instead of actually being Borat. So he's playing like kind of a shading of the character that he already created, and it just doesn't really work for me. I probably wouldn't recommend it for that. Other than that, thank you. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, and have a good day.